You ever get news so hard it doesn't even hit you all at once? It just hovers there, like a sniper's red dot on your chest. That was me, standing in my late mother's office, the smell of old ledger books and lemon polish still hanging in the air, when my phone buzzed. Naomi, the business your late mother gave you is sold. We leave tomorrow. No punctuation except that period. That period felt like a bullet. I stared at the text until my eyes blurred. Sold? To who? When? And the kicker, we leave tomorrow. Like it was a vacation. Like I wasn't standing inside a place soaked with 30 years of sweat and bone, every brick humming with my mother's voice. Take care of this, David. This is your bloodline now. I called her. Straight to voicemail. I called again. Third time, she answered. Naomi. My voice was flat, too calm. That calm you hear in documentaries right before the guy burns the house down. David. Her tone was bright. Too bright. You ever notice liars always sound like they're auditioning for a toothpaste commercial? What the hell did you just text me? You got the text. So why ask? A soft chuckle. I slid down my spine. I gripped the desk edge so hard the wood creaked. You sold it? Without telling me? You weren't using it. I wasn't. I laughed sharp, ugly. Naomi, this isn't a treadmill in the garage. This is my mother's. Our future, she cut in. And it's taken care of now. This isn't 1975, David. Hardware stores don't keep the lights on anymore. My gut twisted. Hardware store. My old man built it with his hands. I'd been running it since Mom passed. Was it dying? Maybe. But it was mine. Ours, technically. We talked about revamping it, adding e-commerce, maybe opening a second location. She even drew up plans once, all glossy colors and bullet points. Guess those were just props in the play. Naomi, I said slowly, the way you speak to someone standing on a ledge. Who did you sell it to? Silence. Naomi, does it matter? That did it. Something in my chest went cold, like the pilot light just died. It matters to me. You know what that place is. What it means. You mean what it meant. Past tense, David. Let it go. Let it go. She said it like I was gripping an old sweater, not the last tether to my mother's life. My throat burned. Tomorrow, she continued, her voice sugar and steel. Pack what you need. We're flying out at 9. Tickets are booked. This is bigger than your nostalgia. Tickets? Booked? My heart thudded against my ribs like a fist at a locked door. Where the hell were we going? Naomi, I said, quiet now, dangerous quiet. If you don't tell me what's going on in the next 10 seconds, I swear. The line went dead. Click. And just like that, my life split down the middle. I stood there in that office, staring at Mom's framed photo. Her smile soft but fierce, like she knew I'd screw this up somehow. Outside, the neon open sign flickered against the glass, even though the store was closed for the day. I remembered her hands, cracked from winters, strong from decades of work, pushing mine over the first cash register I ever counted. Now, gone, sold. And my wife? Talking about we like I'd already agreed. I sank into Mom's old chair, leather cracked and warm from the summer sun, and I let the question hit me full force. What the hell is happening? And why does this feel like the beginning of something I might not survive? I didn't move for a full minute. Just sat there listening to the hum of the old fluorescent light above me like it was mocking me. Sold. The word rattled in my head, sharp edges cutting everything it touched. I opened the bottom drawer, the one Mom called the bones. Her personal ledger, wrapped in a faded cloth, sat inside like a relic. I untied it, fingers trembling more than I wanted to admit. The smell hit me first. Old paper and ink, the scent of every night she stayed late balancing numbers by hand because she didn't trust computers. The last entry was dated 2 weeks before she died. Balance, $1. 3M, $1.3 million. That was the cushion she'd built after 40 years of grinding. I knew it existed, but I never touched it. Not once. That money wasn't just cash. It was her faith in me. And now, Naomi sold the store. Where the hell did that money go? I pulled out my phone, hands slick with sweat, and opened our joint account app. My stomach turned to stone. Balance, $14,212. 19. That's it. After everything, 14 grand and change. The buzzing started in my ears. I checked savings. Gone. Every account linked to my name. Wiped clean like chalk and rain. Jesus, my voice cracked in the empty office. I tried calling her again. Straight to voicemail. I didn't leave a message because what could I say? Hey babe, quick question. Did you vaporize my mother's life's work before or after planning our little getaway? Something hit me then. Hard and cold. Tickets are booked. I tore through her desk drawer like a man searching for a pulse. Credit card statements, airline confirmation, nothing. But tucked under a glossy home magazine was an envelope with a faint watermark. Embassy seal. My blood iced over. It wasn't a ticket stub. It was a visa application, stamped and approved, for Naomi Prescott. Destination, Dubai. Dubai. The word sat there on the page like a grenade. My wife wasn't just selling off the family store for some cute Airbnb in Napa. She was planning an exodus, one that didn't need me. I leaned back, clutching that paper so tight it crumpled in my fist. And then my phone buzzed again, lighting up with a number I didn't recognize. Unknown caller. Against every instinct screaming don't, I answered. David, a man's voice said. Smooth, low. Too calm. She told you, didn't she? My throat closed. Who the hell is this? You'll find out soon enough. Just pack a bag. Like she said. A pause, long enough for me to feel every nerve in my body spike. And David, don't call the cops. That would be unwise. Click. Dead air. I sat frozen, the hum of that damn fluorescent light drilling into my skull. Whoever he was, he knew my name. He knew Naomi talked to me. And that tone, measured, like a guy who could make things happen. Bad things. I put the phone down slowly, staring at my reflection in the dusty window. My jaw looked tighter, eyes darker. For the first time in years, I felt that old weight in my chest, the one I thought I buried when Mom died. The weight that whispered, you're in a fight now, and you're already behind. I didn't go home. Hell no. Home felt radioactive now, like every wall was wired, every shadow holding teeth. Instead, I drove. No music, no calls, just the growl of my engine and the pounding question in my skull. What the hell is Naomi into? Halfway across town, I ended up in the one place she never steps foot, my mother's storage unit. Old steel door, rust streaks down the sides, lock still wrapped in dust. I kept the key on a ring behind my truck visor like a secret handshake with the dead. When I rolled that door up, the smell hit me, mothballs and motor oil. Mom's life stacked in boxes, holiday lights, tax records, photo albums yellowed with time. I dug until my hands stung, searching for, I didn't know what. Proof she'd left something for me that Naomi didn't get her claws into. Then I saw it. A fireproof box shoved behind an old drill press. Keyed lock. I cracked it open with a flathead, heart thudding like a bass drum. Inside, a single folder. Red. Unmarked. I flipped it open and the world tilted. Bank statements. Wire transfers. Big ones. $500,000 here, 300 grand there. All within the last 8 months, after Mom died. Every transfer tagged with the same recipient name. Prescott Holdings, Ltd., Naomi's maiden name. And in the corner of one page, a signature I knew too well. Mine. Or at least, something that looked like mine. I dropped into a metal chair, breathing through clenched teeth. She'd been bleeding my inheritance dry for months, forging my name like it was nothing. And Prescott Holdings? Never heard of it. But when I pulled my phone and Googled, the screen filled with results that turned my veins to ice. Offshore corporation. Dubai headquarters. 0 employees listed. Known alias flagged in 2 different federal investigations. And then the kicker, a headline from last year. Front company linked to international procurement scheme. Procurement. That's government speak for black market weapons. My pulse hammered so hard I could feel it in my teeth. My wife, sold my mother's business, emptied our accounts, and wired the cash to a front company tied to arms deals. My phone buzzed again. Another unknown number. Different this time. I almost let it go to voicemail. Almost. Yeah. My voice was sandpaper. You're not as stupid as she said, the man replied. Same smooth tone as before, but now there was a trace of amusement. Walk away, David. Pack a bag. Forget the store. Forget the money. She's giving you a chance most men don't get. Who are you? A soft laugh. The man who keeps her alive. Click. Deadline again. I sat there, knuckles white on the edge of that red file. My reflection in the phone screen looked wrong, jaw locked, eyes dark, something simmering just under the skin. You ever feel the exact second your life stops being yours? That was it for me. Because I knew 2 things now. Naomi wasn't running from me. She was running with someone else's blood money. And if I didn't move fast, I wasn't just losing a wife. I was losing my pulse. I grabbed the folder, shoved it into my jacket, and walked out into the night like a man stepping into open crosshairs. I didn't sleep. Couldn't. My body felt wired like I'd swallowed live ammo. Every time I shut my eyes, I saw Naomi's name on those wire transfers. Prescott Holdings. Dubai. Procurement schemes. By dawn, I had a plan, or something that looked like one through the fog of rage and caffeine. Step 1. Find her before she vanishes into some international black hole. Step 2. Make her talk. Her phone was still dead to me, but Naomi's a creature of habit. And habits are where people get sloppy. I drove straight to the private terminal on the west end of the city. She always joked about flying commercial being too pedestrian for her vision board life. The parking lot was a showroom. Sleek black SUVs lined up like obedient dogs, glass doors reflecting the sunrise. My pulse jumped when I spotted it. Her Lexus, parked neat, like she had all the time in the world. Inside, the terminal smelled like money, espresso, leather, and that cold, sterile air that whispers, "You don't belong here unless you own something obscene." I scanned the lounge. No Naomi. Just a couple in tailored sweatsuits arguing over macadamia milk, and a guy in a gray suit reading the Financial Times. I approached the counter, sliding my wedding ring off without thinking. Sometimes you play the part. "Morning," I said with a smile that felt stapled to my face. "My wife's flying out this morning." "Prescott. Naomi Prescott. Can you confirm the gate?" The receptionist barely looked up, just tapped her screen. "She's already cleared security." My gut clenched. "Which gate?" "Gate 4. I turned, but then her voice snagged me. "Sir." I looked back. She was staring at her screen now, eyes tight. "Everything okay?" I asked, my tone casual as a loaded gun. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. "Of course. Enjoy your flight." Yeah, that was a tell. That wasn't of course. That was oh shit, you're not supposed to know. I walked fast, trying not to sprint, the red file thumping against my ribs like a second heartbeat. Gate 4 was down a short hallway with glass walls. Private jets lined up on the tarmac like silver sharks. And that's when I saw her. Naomi. Dressed head to toe in white like some influencer about to sell detox tea, sunglasses big enough to hide a murder behind. Her carry-on was designer, her stride unhurried. She looked calm, serene, even, like she hadn't just detonated my entire life and wired the fallout to Dubai. But the man walking 2 steps behind her? He wasn't calm. He was coiled, tall, black suit, dark aviators, jaw like it was carved from stone. The same voice from the phone, I'd bet my lungs on it. And here's the kicker. He was carrying my duffel bag, the one I keep in the truck. The one with a change of clothes, a copy of my passport, and $5,000 emergency cash. My blood turned to battery acid. How the hell did they get that? I froze behind a pillar, heart hammering like a countdown clock. Every instinct screamed walk away, live to fight another day. But then Naomi turned, just slightly, like she felt me burning holes through her spine. Our eyes met for the first time since the call. And she smiled. Slow, deliberate, like she'd already written the ending and I was just a character flipping through the wrong pages. That's when my phone buzzed. Unknown number again. I didn't answer. I just stared at the screen, the text lighting up in neon dread. "One more step, David, and you'll never make it to Dubai. Or anywhere else." I slipped the phone back into my pocket and exhaled through my teeth. You ever stand at a fork in the road and realize both paths lead straight to hell? That was me. I didn't step forward. Not yet. You ever feel your pulse in your teeth? That was me, plastered against a glass wall, watching Naomi glide toward the jet like betrayal wrapped in silk. The guy behind her, black suit, calm as a guillotine, never broke stride, never glanced back. That told me 2 things. He was confident. He had backup. And then I saw it, just a flicker in the reflection of the glass door. Another man, same build, gray suit this time, sitting in the corner with a carry-on and dead eyes. He wasn't scrolling his phone. He was watching me. Shit. I peeled off like I'd forgotten something. Head down, pulse detonating. Didn't run. Running gets you shot. Instead, I ducked into the men's room, locked a stall, and pulled out my phone. Checked my reflection in the cracked mirror above the sink first. Sweat slicked my forehead, shirt clinging like shrink wrap. I looked like a man about to do something stupid. And then I made the call. Not to Naomi. Not to the cops. To someone I swore I'd never need again. "Davis," a voice rasped on the 3rd ring. Same Davis who once helped me disappear from a bar in Kandahar when a Russian with a grudge wanted my spine as a souvenir. "You sound like you swallowed glass," he said. "I might have," I whispered. "I need a favor. Real quiet. Track a flight. Private. Wheels up in." I checked my watch. 10, maybe 15. "Tail number?" I peeked out the door just long enough to catch it stenciled on the jet's tail. Gave it to him. "You in trouble, Brennan? Let's just say my wife's travel plans don't include me breathing." He grunted. "Give me 5." I killed the call and slipped out, hugging the wall until I saw them boarding. Naomi climbed the steps first, slow, like she was savoring the show. Black suit followed, duffel still in hand. My duffel. And here's the part where logic should have kicked in. Where I should have stayed put, let Davis work his magic, and waited for some cavalry to sweep in. But logic doesn't mean shit when your veins are full of adrenaline and your entire life is walking up those stairs like a scene from a movie you didn't audition for. So I moved. Down the hall, badge check station, glass doors, nobody stopped me. Gray suit was gone. Probably flanking me. Good. Let him chase shadows. I slid past the gate agent while she was scanning a tablet and hit the stairs 2 at a time, keeping my head low. Inside the jet, the air was colder. Leather seats, champagne on ice, and Naomi, sitting cross-legged like she owned the sky. She didn't look shocked to see me. Not even startled. David. She smiled, slow and surgical. You made it. Black suit was standing at the rear, hand resting on something under his jacket. Didn't have to guess what. Tell me why, I said. My voice didn't even sound like mine. Tell me why you gutted everything Mom left us. She tilted her head like I was a toddler asking why the sun sets. Because nostalgia doesn't pay, David. But leverage does. Leverage for what? Her smile widened, and for the first time, I saw it, the edge under the gloss. For keeping us alive. Before I could process that, the engines roared. The door sealed. My phone buzzed in my pocket. Davis again. I almost answered. Almost. Then I saw Naomi slide something across the seat toward me. A manila envelope. Open it, she said. I did. And when I saw what was inside, my stomach dropped so hard I thought it would punch through the floor at 30,000 feet. A photo. Of me. Standing in my mother's office. Behind me, the old safe cracked open. And next to the photo, a single-page stamped Interpol red notice, with my name in bold. I looked up at Naomi. She sipped champagne like it was just another Tuesday. You're coming with me, David, she said softly. Because if you don't, the whole world will think you've been selling weapons to people who make wars happen. The jet lurched forward. Wheels up. And that's when I knew. This wasn't a heist. It was a burial. And I was holding the shovel. The seatbelt sign pinged. Like that mattered. When the door sealed, I stopped being a passenger. I became cargo. And Naomi? She wasn't my wife anymore. She was a handler. The envelope sat on my lap like a live grenade. My photo, my name in bold on an Interpol red notice. Alleged offenses, illicit arms trafficking, conspiracy, money laundering. Punishable by, hell, let's just say it wasn't probation. You forged my name, I said. My voice was flat, like dead calm before a storm. Naomi tilted her glass, watching champagne bubbles rise like tiny lies. Not me. Then who? She smiled, that slow blade of a smile that used to mean I'm in the mood. Now admit you're already dead. You just don't smell it yet. Your mother, she said. For a second, I thought the altitude fried my brain. What? She started it. The transfers, the shell accounts. Prescott Holdings was hers long before it was mine. Naomi leaned back, crossing one perfect leg over the other. Your sainted mother wasn't just running a hardware store, David. She was moving product, high-end, military grade. Her little emergency fund. That was blood money. I just scaled the operation. The words slammed into me like turbulence. Mom, the woman who baked pies for church fundraisers? Who believed Wi-Fi was witchcraft? Running arms? You're lying. Am I? She plucked a second photo from the envelope and slid it across the table. Mom, standing next to a crate stamped with Cyrillic letters. Date stamped 2015. The crate's lid half open, revealing something that looked a hell of a lot like a dismantled rifle. My throat locked. Memories crashed in. Mom insisting I never touch certain ledgers, her sudden business trips, right before holidays, the unexplained cash deposits she waved off as side work. You think I wanted this? Naomi's voice softened, like a viper coiling slow. I married a man I thought was ordinary. But you were born into this. Your name's on everything, David. If you walk away, that red notice becomes a cage. You'll die in a cell while I sip cocktails in a sky lounge. And if I don't walk away? Then we both live rich, in a city where no one cares what you did, as long as you did it well. I stared out the window. Clouds drifted like ghosts below us. My mother, a criminal. Naomi, a traitor. And me, what? The last idiot in a chain of liars? You killed her, didn't you? I said quietly. Naomi didn't flinch. That told me everything before she opened her mouth. She got sloppy, she said, tone like ice cracking. And sentimental. Wanted to pull you in, tell you everything. But the people she worked with? They don't like loose ends. I gripped the armrest so hard it groaned. My pulse was a war drum. Who are they? You don't want their names. Oh, I do. My voice dropped, all gravel and glass. Because when we land, I'm burning this whole thing down, and you with it. That's when Black Suit moved. Silent as a shadow, he stepped up behind me, the cold kiss of a silencer pressing against my neck. Naomi's smile didn't waver. You won't make it to baggage claim with that attitude. And then, my phone buzzed in my pocket. Davis. Again. I didn't dare move, but Naomi noticed. She reached over, plucked it out, glanced at the screen, and her smile cracked for the first time. Just a hairline fracture, but I saw it. Because the message wasn't text. It was a photo of Naomi, taken through the terminal glass, sent with one line. Tell her she's not the only one who booked a ticket. The plane jolted as we hit a pocket of turbulence, but the real shake was in Naomi's eyes. For the first time, she looked unsure. And that, right there, was the opening I needed. The gun stayed pressed against my neck, cold as a morgue slab. Naomi stared at the photo on my phone like it was a ghost crawling out of the screen. Davis doesn't miss signals. If he sent that, it meant two things. He was close. Someone was about to bleed. Naomi slid the phone face down on the table, but her grip tightened just enough to crack her nail polish. Who the hell is Davis? Her voice wasn't silk now, it was wire. I didn't answer. My jaw locked, pulse pounding in my ears. The gun pressed harder, a little love tap reminding me who was king of this floating coffin. Naomi leaned in, her perfume cutting through the recycled air. Talk, David. You first. My tone was sandpaper. What's in Dubai? Really? She smirked, but it didn't reach her eyes. A buyer. For what? Her lips parted to answer, but the plane bucked hard, drinks sloshing, overhead lights flickering like a strobe. The pilot's voice crackled through the intercom. Unexpected turbulence. Seatbelts, folks. Black Suit didn't flinch. His aim didn't waver, but his eyes flicked toward Naomi for half a second. That was all I needed. I shifted, fast, brutal, grabbing the champagne bottle from the table and swinging it backward into his wrist. The silencer spat once, PHFFD, and a neat hole bloomed in the leather seat instead of my skull. The gun clattered to the floor. Chaos detonated. Naomi lunged for the weapon, nails flashing, while I slammed my elbow into Black Suit's throat. He gagged, staggered, but his hands were steel. We grappled in the aisle, bodies slamming into walls, glass shattering like gunfire. Naomi screamed, high and sharp, but not scared, furious. She dove for the envelope, clutching it to her chest like scripture. I jammed my knee into Black Suit's ribs, felt something crack. He grunted, headbutt me, stars exploding behind my eyes. My grip slipped just enough for him to shove me against the cabin door. Hard. His hand went to his ankle, backup piece. I kicked out blind, connecting with bone. The gun skidded under a seat. And then, the sound that changed everything. Click. Not the gun. The cabin door latch. Naomi's hand was on it, eyes blazing. Enough, she shouted, voice trembling like the metal under our feet. You want to die here, David? You want to splatter across the Atlantic because you can't keep your ego in check? The wind screamed through a hairline seal break. Pressure slapped my ears. For a split second, I thought she'd actually do it, blow the door midair and end us all. Then bang. Not from the gun. From the cockpit. A single muffled shot. The plane dipped, nose yawning toward the ocean like a drunk. The intercom hissed, then went dead. Naomi froze. Black Suit froze. And me? My blood iced over. Because I knew that sound. That wasn't random. That was Davis. The cockpit door slammed open, and there he was. Same scar over the eyebrow, same dead-eyed calm. A pistol in one hand, the pilot's headset dangling from the other. Morning, Davis said, stepping into the cabin like he'd just walked into a coffee shop. Miss me? Davis closed the cockpit door behind him like he had all day, then leveled that calm stare at me. The same one I'd seen in a bunker in Kandahar when he told me the difference between dying and disappearing was 10 seconds of smart decisions. Sit down, Brennan, he said, voice smooth as a loaded chamber. Naomi's grip tightened on the latch. Black Suit was still winded from our scuffle, rubbing his ribs, but his eyes stayed locked on Davis like a wolf sizing up a bigger predator. Plane's on autopilot now, Davis added. For the next 20 minutes, nobody dies, unless someone does something stupid. His tone didn't rise, but the air in that cabin thickened like wet cement. I stayed standing. You gonna tell me why the hell you're here? Davis tilted his head, almost amused. Same reason they are. You. Naomi scoffed, sharp and bitter. You don't know what you're walking into, cowboy. Oh, I know. Davis took one slow step forward, gun still low but ready. Dubai? Prescott Holdings. Your little shopping list of toys the Pentagon swore didn't exist. Problem is, Naomi, your passenger here? He jerked his chin toward me. He's not an asset. He's a liability with legs. My chest tightened. Translation? Translation, Davis said. Your name is all over those wires. When this bird lands, Interpol will swarm you like hornets if I don't get ahead of it. And believe me, they're already circling. Naomi laughed, short and cruel. And let me guess, you want to be the hero who delivers him gift-wrapped? Classic. No, Davis said flat. I want him clear. That hit me like a sucker punch. Clear? You mean? I mean, Davis cut in. If you follow me out of this flying zoo alive, you disappear. New name, clean slate. Your wife here? She keeps her deal in Dubai. She breathes. You two never speak again. Simple. Naomi slammed the latch shut with a metallic clack. You think I'm letting him walk after what he knows? Not happening. You don't have a vote, Davis replied, calm but cold. For a long beat, the only sound was the engines humming under our feet. The three of us locked in a triangle, Naomi clutching that envelope like scripture, Davis a statue with a gun, and me trying to figure out which side of this coin wasn't covered in shit. Then Naomi smiled. That slow, surgical smile I'd once mistaken for love. You really think he'll go into hiding, Davis? You think he can keep his head down after he finds out who put the first nail in his mother's coffin? My breath caught. Say that again. She tilted her head, eyes glinting. You think she died of a stroke, David? Cute story. Truth is, she tried to pull out. Sell everything. Go clean. The people she worked with didn't like that. Her gaze flicked toward Davis. Ask your friend. He knows exactly who signed off. My gut turned to stone. I looked at Davis, and his silence was louder than any confession. The plane jolted suddenly, turbulence slamming us sideways. Naomi staggered. The envelope slipped from her grip, scattering papers like confetti in a hurricane. Photos, bank logs, my mother's name on contracts dripping with code words I couldn't unsee. Davis holstered his weapon slow, like a man declaring the next move without saying a word. Seatbelts, he said, landing gears down. Time to decide, Brennan, ghost or headline. I stared at Naomi, then at him, heart pounding so loud it drowned out the engines. You both want me for different reasons, I said. My voice was calm now, dead calm. But you forgot one thing. Naomi's eyes narrowed. What's that? I leaned forward, fists planted on the armrest. I'm done being a pawn. The plane dropped hard, wheels screeching against the runway. Everyone swayed, Naomi clutching the seat, Davis bracing like a damn tree, me gripping nothing but resolve. You want me? I said, voice cutting through the turbulence. You both do. But here's the play. You don't get me unless I walk out of here alive and free. Naomi barked a laugh. You think you have leverage? I pulled my phone from my pocket. Screen lit. A little red icon pulsing. Recording. I tilted it so they both saw their faces on the feed. I think I've been live streaming this conversation for the last 17 minutes. Off-site backup. If I don't check in every hour, this whole video goes public. Interpol, press, everyone. Naomi's smile evaporated. Davis didn't blink, but his jaw flexed hard enough to crack enamel. Now, I said, standing as the plane slowed. Here's how this works. Naomi gets off in Dubai, I get off in one piece, and you, I looked at Davis, make good on that clean slate. Or the world learns what really happened to my mother, and how two people I trusted tried to bury me alive. For the first time, silence felt like victory. The plane rolled to a stop, and in that stillness, I realized something. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need answers. I just needed out. Naomi leaned back, venom simmering behind her eyes. Davis exhaled slow, then nodded once. The kind of nod that said you win this round, Brennan. The door hissed open. Hot desert air punched my face like freedom. As I stepped off, one thought burned through the chaos. You ever think you're done with a war, and then find out the war just changed its name? Yeah, me too.